Phelps with PittStateGorillas.com, chatting with Gorillas head football coach Tim Beck, the 2011 NCAA Division II National Coach of the Year, about the 2012 season outlook. Coach Beck, 7 months have passed now since the 2011 Gorillas completed their magical run on the road to Florence and captured the NCAA Division II National Championship. Since that time, your football team has transformed. The 2011 roster featured more than 20 seniors and what you have described previously as many great team leaders. Now Pitt State returns 12 players who started 7 or more games a year ago, along with returning leadership as well as new emerging stars. How would you assess the overall feel for your football team as it prepares for the 2012 season?
Well, there's no question, losing 20-plus seniors. There's some tremendous players there, and along with the players that we lost, the leadership that we had there was just phenomenal. But, this is a new year, new team, and every year every team is a little bit different. It's hard to, kind of put your finger on, what complexion this team will have as they take the field in 12. But we know that we've got some guys that have been to the national championship game, and so they understand, what it takes to get there. So that's exciting for our coaching staff to know that we have a group that's got a lot of experience under their belt, and they'll be geared up and ready to go for this fall.
In 2011, the Gorillas were coming off a 6-6 season, and the squad perhaps relished the underdog role in competition, a role historically not afforded to the Pitt State program with much frequency. The squad also bought in, if you will, to taking the season game by game, and within those games, taking it play by play. What has been the coaching staff's message to this year's team in spring drills and beyond as the Gorillas prepare to get every team's best shot as the defending national champion?
Well, from the get-go, we're going to have people that are going to try to knock us off because we are the defending national champions, and that's something we'll have to be prepared for. But again, the preparation that we take week by week and day by day, and the philosophy of really buying into 1 week at a time and not looking ahead, and get our players to understand how they have to play one play at a time. It's a whole new team, but the message will be the same, in the fact that we have to take it, week by week, play by play. And if we get those young men to understand that and to practice like that, then once again we just have to take it 1 week at a time and see how things come out.
Let's turn our attention to the offensive side of the ball. The Gorillas return a veteran crew on offense with depth and experience in the backfield, at wide receiver, and up front on the line. With that, Pitt State will welcome in a new starting quarterback in sophomore Anthony Abinoa. Abinoa did compete in 7 games for PSU in 2011, illustrating a strong arm while passing for 264 yards and 3 touchdowns. His teammates voted him a 2012 team captain. How has Tony progressed from a reserve player to now a third-year sophomore who will lead this team?
Well, Anthony's, it's good that as a coaching staff you feel good when the guy that you kind of anticipate as a starting quarterback gets voted as a captain by his teammates. And so, that makes our coaching staff feel good about how he's doing on and off the field. And he's a great student of the game. He works extremely hard. He throws the football as good as anybody that we've had since I've been here at Pittsburgh State. And a lot of people say, well, he throws it so well he can't run it. He's still a threat to run the football. And he got to be mentored by Zach Dickey, who just had a tremendous year last year. So we're really excited about Anthony's future and how Anthony's going to do this year.
Pittsburgh State has maintained a commitment to run the football, and the Gorillas have enjoyed tremendous success thanks to that resolve. Your squad returns a stable of veteran running backs, seniors Jason Spradling and Bryson Wilson, junior Solomon Watkins, and sophomore Jeff Siebold. That quartet combined to rush for 1,880 yards and 16 touchdowns a year ago. Talk about the depth and experience the Gorillas hope to benefit from in the backfield this year.
Well, we have a really good group of running backs, and of course Bryson and Jason Spradling, they kind of lead the way with us. But Jeff Siebold had a tremendous spring. He's really coming along well, and Solomon Watkins is a great kid, great player. We feel like we get him back and he's healthy, he'll be something for people to deal with. And so we do have a really good, solid group of running backs. we are still very committed to running the football, and that's important to us, and it's nice to have some experience back at that position.
At wide receiver, the Gorillas welcome back one of the most explosive players in the country in junior John Brown. Brown enjoyed an All-America season as a sophomore transfer, catching 61 passes for 1,216 yards and 12 touchdowns. He averaged just under 20 yards per catch and became the first receiver in school history to post 4 straight 100-yard receiving games. It goes without saying excitement surrounds his junior campaign.
Well, the neat thing about John is, number one, he's just an awesome kid, and number two, he's another one that got voted as a captain by his peers. So, that's a great tribute to him. But John is a very exciting player. He's a great player, great kid. And, the thing that excites us as a coaching staff is most of the time when you have a transfer, whether it be a junior college or 4-year transfer, most of the time they're better their second year. And so to have that feeling of him being able to come in and understands our system just that much better and will be ready to go, that's very exciting, and he is a tremendous player.
While Brown commands a great deal of headlines, your football team is blessed with a very deep wide receiving core again this year, an area which was a concern in your first season as head coach in 2010. Senior Andrew Castaneda and sophomore Luke Rampy both started significant games for the Gorillas in 2011. Junior Levi Kuntz showed flashes of his potential last year, while redshirt sophomore Gavin Lutman is coming back from a missed season, and sophomore Bradley Argerbright also enjoyed a solid spring camp.
Yeah, we have a real good group of receivers, and there's times when we play one receiver, there's times when we play 5 receivers, and so that's the exciting thing for that group is we've got some experience there, we've got some competition there. Levi Kuntz and Gavin Lutman are young men that I feel real good about the things they can do. Gavin just, had to miss last year because of an injury, and Levi just caught, 1 or 2 passes last year, but they were huge when he caught them, and we expect him to continue to improve. Bradley Argerbright's another young man that had a great spring for us, and he'll be ready to go. A lot of the attention's been given to John Brown, but Andrew Castaneda is a tremendous player as well, and so when you throw all those guys together, again, good competition, good players, good kids that are eager to get started.
Along with the skill position players, the Gorillas returned 4 offensive linemen with extensive starting experience. Junior Cody Holland enjoyed an All-MIAA and All-Region sophomore season at tackle in 2011. Senior Aaron Kolich and sophomore Tyler Smith shared time at center a year ago as Kolich missed games due to injury, and now Smith is ready to assume a starting role at guard this fall. The Gorillas also welcome back junior Josiah Cody, an All-MIAA caliber guard who missed the 2011 season due to a medical redshirt.
It makes us feel good as a coaching staff to have Aaron Kolich back, and even though he missed a lot of last season, he's just such a headsy player and guy that makes a lot of calls for us, and he takes charge of our offensive line, and so to have Aaron back, that's a great starting point for us. Cody Holland, I feel like, is one of the best offensive tackles in the MIAA. And again, he's got 2 years left, and he'll have a great season this year. Along with getting Josiah Cody back at a guard and having Tyler Smith back, and we've got some experience coming back. We have high expectations of Oliver Venegas as well, and that's a group that we're not maybe quite as deep as we'd like to be, but the first 5 guys, first 6, first 7 guys that we have are going to be really, really good, solid players.
Let's turn our attention now to the defensive side of the ball, where the Gorillas welcome back a pair of All-Americans, including the 2011 National Defensive Player of the Year in junior linebacker Nate Dreiling. Dreiling has led the defensive unit both vocally and by example in a pair of All-America seasons. He enters 2012 with 299 career tackles, including 37.5 stops behind the line of scrimmage, as well as 8 interceptions. Talk about Nate's impact to your football team.
Well, Nate's impact is this. I mean, he's the best football player on our team, and he has an opportunity to have just an outstanding career here, and already has played extremely well for us last 2 seasons. But Nate's a hard-working young man that spends unbelievable amount of time doing his homework and watching video and getting prepared for the next team, and he's just been a great leader for us. He understands what it takes to win football games. He understands how to go work and go practice, and again, another team captain for us with 2 years of eligibility left, and we're awfully glad he's on our football team.
Along with Dryling's presence, senior Gus Toka has emerged as one of the top defensive ends in the MIAA and the country. Toka made 11 quarterback sacks and 19 total tackles for loss in his junior campaign. He enters 2012 as a team captain, and is it fair to say he's really taking ownership and a leadership role on this team?
Yeah, Gus again was voted as a team captain, and he's come in charge of our defensive line. He's the guy that he'll be responsible for how they play, and he's taken upon himself to make sure that those guys are all getting their summer workouts done and those type of things. And man, we just expect a huge season out of Gus. He's a great kid that works extremely hard. He's earned everything that he gets, and we think he's going to have a tremendous senior season.
Up front, the Gorillas will look to new players to emerge as starters on the interior defensive line, as well as opposite Toka at defensive end. Junior Joe Uzzle made 10.5 tackles for loss at defensive end a year ago. Junior Will Grissom moved from defensive end to defensive tackle during the spring, while freshman transfer Tay Irvin enjoyed a solid spring at nose guard after coming to PSU from Coffeyville Community College in January.
Well, we have high expectations of Joe Uzzle as well, and he's a very good, strong young man that plays strong and plays fast. So having Joe back's nice. And then, we also added Robert McField, another defensive end that can come in and hopefully help us a little bit. But defensive tackle, you're right in the fact that we have transfer with Tay, who had a really good spring for us. Will Grissom made a nice transition from the end position to the tackle position, had a really good solid spring for us. And then the other one is Tank Burns. It's time for Tank Burns to step up and play, and we feel like that after kind of setting out part of the spring because of a minor injury, that he'll be ready to go this fall.
Junior Joe Wincheffel saw significant action at linebacker in key spots late in the 2011 postseason when outgoing senior Luke Stringer battled injury. That experience, combined with a good spring camp, has Wincheffel ready for a big junior season, while the Gorillas enjoy good depth at the position with sophomores Eric Brantley and Tyler Disney, as well as junior Taylor Counts.
I think that Joe, I know he has high expectations of himself, and we have high expectations of him, and he's really battled through some tough injuries and been very persistent in getting himself back in position to be a player. And so, it's Joe's turn to step in there and get some things done. And I know he's not going to give that position up. He's ready to go get after it and be that guy that's next to Nate. But the nice thing is we have competition there. Eric Brantley has got to play in some special team plays, and Taylor Counts as well. And then we moved Tyler Disney from the safety position to the inside linebacker position, and so far we feel like that was a really good move because he brings a lot of speed to the position. So that's inside linebacker is a position that we feel like we'll again be very solid at.
In the secondary, the Gorillas also are blessed with several veteran players at corner and safety. Senior safety Chaz Smith, a two-time All-MIAA performer, returns from an injury-shortened junior season. Sophomore Jason Peete made an immediate impact for the Gorillas a year ago, as did sophomore cornerback Arius Harrion, who had the memorable blocked field goal return for a touchdown in the national championship game. Senior Graylin Sanders and sophomore Devontae Bosby also have great experience at cornerback, while senior Bryant Sanchez is back for a third year at safety, and junior transfer Keaston Terry comes to PSU in August from the University of Kansas, where he started 11 games in 2011.
Well, it's nice to have the experience back that we have, and Coach Weimers and Coach Cullen coach the safeties and the corners, and we've got a good group, and we feel like that's such an important group of players back there, and you know, I've always said you just can't have enough corners because they're so hard to find, and find guys that can turn their hips and run and play man coverage and do those type of things. So to have Arias back and Devontae Bosby back and the experience that they have, and then throw in Graylin Sanders into the mix with them, you know, it makes you feel good to have that group of guys. And Jason Pete's a young man. We just feel like he's going to continue to improve every day and every week. And him to be able to end up starting for us as a redshirt freshman, having 3 years of eligibility left, we have high expectations of him. And as you mentioned, Chad Smith and Bryant Sanchez have a lot of experience. We're excited about Keaston Terry coming in. We think he'll be a tremendous addition for us in the secondary. So just feel like we have a great group that Coach Wiemers and Coach Cohen are very excited about.
Let's jump to special teams and talk about the kicking game. Competition is stout across the roster, and that's the case in special teams as well. Transfer Connor Frizzell joined the Gorillas in January from JUCO national runner-up Butler Community College and enjoyed a solid spring camp.
You know, Connor came in and had a really nice spring for us, and you know, has some versatility about him, and can kick it in different places and do some different things, and seems to be very consistent as a field goal kicker. So we're excited about the addition of him to our team.
While John Brown was dynamic at wide receiver last year, he was equally or perhaps more impressive in the return game. He returned a pair of punts for touchdowns. On the first time he touched a ball in a PSU uniform in the season opener against Missouri Western, and on the first possession of the national semifinal game against Delta State. He also had a 100-yard kickoff return touchdown against Washburn. In all, he posted one of the top return years in the country while compiling more than 2,200 all-purpose yards on the season.
John's just very exciting when he has the ball in his hands, and we need to get it in his hands as much as possible. And so he's a guy that when he's back there, they're not going to want to kick it to him, but there's some things they just can't help. But you know, he will be a threat every time he touches it, and to have him back in the kicking game gives us a big-time boost in the special teams.
Pittsburg State University takes pride in its storied history of success, including its now 4 national championship squads, 27 postseason appearances, and 30 conference championships. All the while, the Gorillas have compiled more wins than any other Division II institution. What does the school's proud history mean to the Gorilla players and the coaching staff, and how does it continue to shape goals and expectations for the 2012 football campaign?
Well, most of our coaches understand the proud history that we have here at Pittsburg State. That's something that we continue to work on and educate our players about. You know, the players, they kind of do their research before they get to Pittsburg State and understand the history and that we are the winningest program in Division II. And they talk about that. We talk to them about that in the recruiting process. But there's just so many things that go along with that. You know, the community support that we have, the administration, the university, how they follow us, and the atmosphere that we have at Carney Smith Stadium is just second to none. And so, you know, it's something that, you know, our coaching staff, we're very humbled to be a part of it. And we understand that this is a great place to be, and Pittsburg State University is a great place to get an education. And we also have, we feel like, the best atmosphere at a college football game in Division II that there is in the nation.